So now we're going to study the cardioid limacon. And the cardioid, remember, looks like a heart. And this is when the absolute value of A equals the absolute value of B. So the first thing that we're going to examine, okay, write down is what is the difference, okay? We're looking between A and negative A and B and negative B. So we're going to put these four into Desmos, and we're going to examine them to see what the difference is, if there is a difference at all. Okay, so we're going to look at the four polar equations I have written down. So the first one, r equals negative 2 plus 2 cosine theta. So remember, these are all going to be when the absolute value of A equals the absolute value of B. So this is the first one. Notice 0, 0, and it's got a length of 4. Now, let's first just compare it with the one that's right below it. So 2 plus 2 cosine theta. So between these first two, A is different, but B is the same. So the second one, let's get rid of the first, so none are up. Let's look at when A is positive 2. And it looks to be the exact same as if A is negative 2. So is there a difference if A is positive or A is negative? No, there's no difference at all. Just like when we looked at the inner loop. So if this holds true to the inner loop, are we going to see a difference between positive 2 cosine theta, negative 2 cosine theta? So let's keep in mind what 2 plus 2 cosine theta is. Notice the heart opens to the right. Cosine is the x coordinate, and B is positive 2. So let's look at 2 minus 2 cosine theta. And look at that, opens to the left. Okay, center of it is 0, 0. I'm saying center as though I'm talking about where that little pinch is a center. And it's got a length of 4. So it went in the other direction. So with the second and third, the only difference is B is positive 2 in this equation. B is negative 2 in the third equation here. Is there a difference? Yes. The orientation has changed. Now let's look for negative 2 minus 2 cosine theta. B is the same, but A is one is positive 2, one is negative 2. But look, same exact polar curve going on there. See that? So length is 4 for all of them. But we can see that B and negative B, okay, changes the orientation. So let's make sure we write that down. So what we looked at in part A is just, is there a difference between A and negative A? No, it's going to give you the same graph. Is there a difference between B and negative B? Yes, it's going to change its orientation. So now I want you to graph these four here. I want you to be able to know when I can identify that it's a cardioid. If you have a positive cosine, so if you have a positive B and you have cosine, what is its orientation? A negative B and cosine, what is its orientation? Positive B and sine, what is its orientation? Negative B and sine, what is its orientation? So we'll be able to figure that out by taking Desmos and graphing the four equations listed right here. So list those on Desmos and let's look at them. So now that we have them listed, let's look. 1 plus cosine theta, heart opens to the right. 1 minus cosine theta, heart opens to the left. What do you think is going to happen when you graph r equals 1 plus sine theta? Sine theta, y-axis, right, y-coordinate, positive b should open up. It does. 1 minus sine theta opens down. Notice length is 2. So let's write down that negative sine theta opens down, positive sine theta opens up, negative cosine theta opens to the left, and positive cosine theta opens to the right. Okay, so now that we've established knowing the orientation of the heart, what we need to worry about right now is being able to sketch this heart. So you're going to list these 4 on Desmos and you're going to graph them. And we're going to look at what's special about the point 0, 0 for all 4 of these, and what is the length of the heart. So let's put these on Desmos next. All right, so let's look at the first one. Opens up because B is positive. And notice the pinch of the heart is at 0, 0, and it's got a length from the pinch up of 10. And notice this length right here is 5, and this length right here is 5. So now let's look at the next one. B is 1.3, cosine, so should be opening to the right. We're going to want to zoom in a little bit. So if we look at this, here's the heart, opens to the right. It's pinched at 0, 0. Okay, if you look at this, right here is 1.3. Right here is 1.3. And it's got a total length of 2 point. And if you're not sure, if you zoom in a little more, 1 increment, 0.1 from 2.5, that's 2.6. And we can even check here if you'd like. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So the pinch is at 0, 0. The length here is 2.6. And the absolute value of A was 1.3. The absolute value of B was 1.3. So now let's look at the next one. In the next one, the absolute value of A is 2.6. The absolute value of B is 2.6. That negative B is just telling us that it's going down. So let's think. The first one had a length of 10. The second one had a length of 2.6. I'd expect this one to have a length of 5.2. So let's see. It's going down. It's got a total length. If we're not sure, we can zoom in a little. You can see 5 increments here, so this must be 0.2. Length of 5.2. Notice right here, goes out 2.6, goes out 2.6. And the last absolute value of A is 4. Absolute value of B is 4. Cosine is being multiplied by -4, so B is negative. So this means it's going to open to the left. And it's got a total length of 8. It's pinched at 0, 0. Notice this is 4, as well as this little piece right here has a length of 4. And so I think that's enough investigation to be able to tell me what the length of the heart is and what's special about 0, 0. So what's special about 0? The pinch of the heart is at 0, 0. And what is the length of the heart? Now when I'm talking about length, okay, if it goes like that, this right here is its length, and that's going to be the absolute value of A plus the absolute value of B. Okay, just like the length of the entire limacon when there was an inner loop, right? We did the same thing. Absolute value of A plus absolute value of B. They happen to be the same thing here. So that's going to give us the length of the heart from the pinch out. So why don't you right now graph the following 2 polar curves on your own and tell me what the length of the heart is and make a quick sketch. Then you can check your work. So I would pause once I write these down. So why don't we do 1.4 plus 1.4 sine theta, and R equals 2.2 minus 2.2 cosine theta. And number 1, length of the heart, 2.2. It's going up. Out here, right 1.4, left 1.4, up 2.8. Second one opens to the left. It's got a total length of 4.4. So from the center, pinches, right, at 0, 0, 2.2, 2.2, goes out 4.4. So that is it for the cardioid, which is the special case of the limacon when the absolute value of A equals the absolute value of B.